This drum technique exercise starts very simple, but then turns into a little bit of a brain twister towards the end. Make sure you watch all the way to the end if you're interested in that kind of thing. Remember to like, subscribe, to find me again next Tuesday. I've taught well over 1,000 drum lessons to people just like you, and I can show you too. I'm Gabriel, and you're watching the YouTube channel of DrumTipTuesday.com. You're still here. Good. Let's drum together. I'd like you to drum this with me if you would. I mean, obviously I can't see you, so I can't tell, but it's better if we drum together. Let's start off with something real simple, all right? We're just gonna pretend like it's just two guys hanging out, playing drum pads. Let's do like a little of an 8 on a hand thing. 8/8 notes on this hand. 8/8 notes on this hand. But then we're gonna alternate 16th notes on this hand. So 8, 8, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left for a bar. Then 8 on this hand, 8 on this hand, right, left, right, left, right, left, right for a bar. And we'll just loop that twice, all right? If you get lost, that's fine. Just rewind. It's no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left. Alternate. Left. Right. Alternate off the right. Back to the beginning. Nice and big. It's a good one to start off with. Get some blood in the hands. Get your head thinking a little bit there. Let's do it one more time. 2, 3, 4. Again. All right, we're going to work on some accents today. Accented notes, unaccented notes. So let's take a look at an exercise that makes us play accented notes and unaccented notes. Sort of a preliminary before we get into the main body of it, all right? We call this bucks, probably because it sounds like buck, buck, buck. We'll play the same tempo. Just going to do 4 of those per hand. Right, left, and we'll stop there, right? So in case there's any question, just going to play this. Accented note, unaccented note, accented note, unaccented note, right? Going to do that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And just go back and forth twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember not to just drop the unaccented note in there, right? We want to hear it. It's not really a ghost stroke like when you're playing drum set. It's an actual pronounced note at a low level. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it again, one last time. And now, the body of the work that we're going to do today. We're going to check paradiddles against alternating strokes with accents. Basically, that's what we're doing. It's going to get more advanced than that, but we're going to start with the easy note groupings first. 16th notes. Take what we just did in the right hand. I'm just going to add the left hand in between there. Right? Then we'll do that off the left. I'll have to stop in between, but let's just do it on the right first, just a couple times. Maybe 2 bars worth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Off the left. Once again. I'm going to use that to check that we're playing our paradiddles nice and even, right? There's a problem with doing that with this exercise. I wanted it to flip back and forth hand to hand, but I wanted a whole bar of alternating 16th notes and a whole bar of paradiddles. It doesn't work out perfect, okay? Not everything's perfect. Works out perfect in our other note groupings, which we'll talk about in a minute, but this one, not so much. It's fine. Just play 3 groups of alternate sticking, end the bar with a paradiddle. I'll put the music here. Boom, there it is. So what we're gonna do is play alternating 3 groups, then paradiddle. That switches us to the left hand for our whole bar of paradiddles. Now, alternating on the left. Last one has to be a paradiddle. Paradiddles off the full bar paradiddles off the right hand. So what you get is something that looks like this. So alternating, 3, 4, paradiddle, 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 right? Alternating off the left. So you get your beat 4, paradiddle, then a full bar of your paradiddles. Let's do that. We're just going to do it continuously twice, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Paradiddle off the left. Alternating. Paradiddles off the right. Again. Paradiddles off the left. Alternating off the left. Last one's a paradiddle, then paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. One more time. You guys more intermediate and advanced are going to say, okay, I'm not impressed. Neither am I. So let's take this thing and work on a couple note groupings, different note groupings. This first one isn't so hard, all right? Triplets. Going to take the same concept that we just did and put it in triplets, right? Just going to play alternate triplets. And this works because when you play the bar of paradiddles, it'll switch to the other hand. And this is important, especially when we're going to go to the last variation. Because you're dividing the beat 3 ways, all right? The paradiddle has 4 notes in it, and you don't change the note value, you're going to play 3 paradiddles per bar, which is going to put you on the other hand. I'll say it again. Divide the beat 3 ways, you're going to have 3 paradiddles over the whole bar, okay? So let's take a look at that. I'm going to do it real slow first, just so you, I know you guys know it, but just watch. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a paradiddle, 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 goes to the other hand. Sounds kind of trippy without the metronome, right? But that's that thing when everybody's doing, everybody wants to rule the world, right? They're doing that drum cover. You have to have seen it. It's only out there 500 million times, probably not an exaggeration. And after you play this, if you haven't done it, you're going to be less impressed with all that. It's simply 3 to 4 or 4 to 3 to make it sound like it's in a different time. It's merely a time illusion. Let's try it together. Alternating triplets, paradiddle triplets. Then off the left, then back off the right. We'll do it twice at this tempo. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Again. Let's do that whole thing again. All right, so let's take what we have so far, all right? We're just two guys drumming something together, and we'll start with the triplets, because it's going to do a gradual accelerando, or a metered accelerando. We'll start with the triplets, do the 16th notes, then we'll stop. Then we'll do that again. Keep in mind, alternating paradiddle, alternating paradiddle. We're going to do 2 sets of that with triplets. Same thing, 2 sets of that with the 16th notes. Remember, on the 16th notes, the last note of the alternating check has to be a paradiddle to shift it to the other hand. Just remember. I write them out individually, but now we're just going to remember how this goes. It's part of just hanging out and drumming together. Anyways, let's do it. 2, 3, 4. Repeat the triplets. Sixteenth notes. Last one's a paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. Alternating off the left. Last one's a paradiddle, paradiddle. Do that again. But before we go on, just a question for you. What's your favorite drum pad? I know someone's going to ask me. Someone does every time I break this thing out. This drum pad that I'm using is by a company called Zymox. They do not sponsor this video. However, I'm just answering that question because I know someone's going to ask. I'm asking you back. What's your favorite drum pad? Let's do that again. Triplets and 16th notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sixteenths, paradiddles off the left, paradiddles off the right, alternating on the right, okay, now that's not so tough. The next part is, okay, and it's the last part. Now, I tried to explain this in other videos before, but it was real a point of contention. It's really just math, all right? Which is why I said this is going to be important later on when I said triplets, divide the note 3 ways, you have 3 paradiddles per bar. It works the same way when you go 1 more note for every beat, 5s. We're going to do this thing in 5s. It's a little tricky, but what we do when we practice technique is always try to push the brain a little bit too, because so many times when you go to play something and you can't do it, it's not because your hands aren't fast enough. It's because the connection between the head and the hand isn't quite what it needs to be. So there's an infinite number of ways to work on that. Let's do this today. Apply the same principle, all right? It's about principles. It's going to sound trippy, all right? But it's about principles. Trust me, this works. I'll write it down here. But you don't even have to write it. You can just think it through. If you divide each note by 5 parts, there's going to be 5 paradiddles in every bar of 4/4 time, provided that you keep the hand speed constant. Okay? What that means, if our tempo is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and our 5s are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you play paradiddles and you don't change your hand speed, then you're going to play 5 of them. Okay? It changes it to the other hand, just like it did with triplets. Okay? So let's start on the left here. Just watch me on the left. 5s. 5 paradiddles. If you keep the hand speed the same, it works. Okay? I'm going to prove it now. That Running out of battery all over the place here. Hope my metronome holds out. Got 10%. Let's make it fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, put those all together, all right? Triplets, 16th notes. Remember, the last 4 16th notes of the bar of alternating have to be a paradiddle, so just switch it to the other hand, then do your 5s. It's okay if you just want to watch me do this and then rewind, I understand. But at least I'm going to play it right now. Okay, it's a little trippy sounding, but if you work on it, you can get it. You say, why does that work? It always works, okay? We take it for granted when we play 16th notes because it's so even. It's just like elementary. If the beat's divided by 4, there's 4 notes in a paradiddle, and you play 4 of them per bar. Like, duh, you know. You get the triplets, you're like, oh, cool observation. When you get to 5s, it's like, I kind of can't believe that works. But it works. Rewind, take a look at the music. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you get something out of it. One last note here. Why? Why would you do this? There's 2 reasons why I practice like this. Okay, maybe I should have said this earlier, but when I practice, I like to set the metronome to 1 tempo. So I don't, and then play stuff. And sometimes I'll think of something that's in groups of 3s, but I'm in more of a 16th note friendly environment. I'll play them as dotted quarters. And vice versa, sometimes I'm in 16th notes and I think of something that's, you know, it sounds better in triplets, but I'll play the thing that's 4 notes when I'm in a more triplet friendly environment. And expanding into 5s, 6s, 7s. And what that used to be, to me, was just being proficient at your instrument. You know, I think today we call that flow or something of that nature. It's the ability to take something that you know and play it in infinite number of ways. So if you haven't thought of that yet, start here. If you have thought of it, continue with this kind of thing. I'm Gabriel. I hope you like it. And if you like the content that I share here on YouTube, remember to click the link in the description to subscribe to drumtiptuesday.com, where you will find in-depth coursework, masterclasses, drumless tracks, and more that I only share on drumtiptuesday.com. And as always, remember to like, subscribe, and check out one of these videos next.